young man that I've known for, seems like a long time. James Cooper is our Adventures in Technology student. He traveled to Saskatoon back in May for a weekend adventure, I guess. I think it was flooding there, so I think it was a little more than we planned for. James is born and raised in Spruce Grove. He has worked in the library for the last 3.5 years. Prior to that, he volunteered there. That's how I got to know him. He just graduated from high school and is planning to attend NAIT in the fall, studying towards being a network administrator. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce James Cooper to you all.
Can you raise it just a little bit?
Geoanalytical lab, which is basically just testing to see if Saskatoon does have a diamond mine. If it does, it'd be the second one in Canada. And right now they're just on the testing of the rock space. After that, we went to the food industry lab where a lot of Saskatoon's homegrown food and homegrown products are produced there and made there. They'll come up with a few things there as well. Then after lunch, we went to the bioresources lab, and they kind of showed us, seeds, and if they're good that year, the crops are going to be strong. Really did a great job because they did that all day long, so I think I could do that job. That would be fun. And then after that, we went to probably my favorite place. A lot of kids said the same thing. Is the CD Systems, and they specialize in space, really. From the Canada arm, they've helped build that to a couple of satellites that were so advanced. This was cool. The Americans wouldn't shoot it up for us because we don't have the power to do that. They ended up going to Russia, and Russia shot our satellite up for us. I don't know if that is the actual satellite. Finding actual fish online sometimes. And then on day 2, we were able to go to Global TV in the morning, which was a lot of fun because they gave us a tour of the facility, and then we happened to be there when the morning show was just ending, so they let us go on. We were able to wave and scream with the credits as it was ending. After Global TV, we went to CIAS, and they basically gave us this tray of, it wasn't chemical, but it was just a tray of fluids, and everyone got their own tray. One was infected, we had to share it with everyone, and at the end we had to figure out who the infected one was. No, we had no idea. And then after that, we went to the medical science building for the afternoon, which was cool. We kind of did the same thing, but instead it was more like the Chinese mystery. You had to figure out which mystery needs what. You were given a bunch of samples, and had to do a bunch of tests to figure it out. On day 3, we went to the toxicology center to start with, which is where they come up with a bunch of different fears, humans, animals. So but it wasn't as much fun as we could have hoped because it's basically a great big walkway around the top, and you get to look down on everything, but you don't actually get to go and see any of it up close and personal. And then after lunch, we spent the entire afternoon at J&E Welding, and they gave us a great big tour of their shop. They showed us how they have, they're really proud of this robot that they have that can create great big pieces to a precise millimeter or very tiny pieces to a precise millimeter. It makes their jobs a lot easier because they don't have to use manpower to do it. They can tell them what to do and walk away. And then day 4 in the morning, we went to Hitachi, and they showed us all the different machines that they build to, a lot of them for Alberta, to make like piping and whatnot, they ground diggers and everything. And then after Hitachi, we went to Standard Machinery, where they are really focused on making small parts for machines. They're very specialized at making gears, but they'll make a number of different parts to restore really old but cool machines. And then the afternoon after that, we went to the Saskatoon Abilities Council, where that one was more interesting than we were expecting it to be. They let us build our own amputee leg. We didn't get to keep them, but we could build them. They let us mold the leg as well, and they had a 3D scanner that we were able to play around with. They let us scan ourselves and create 3D digital objects of ourselves. On day 5, we were able to go to Vito for another vaccine place. Now this place was a little, this is the place actually, sorry, that did the swine flu. This place was a little more advanced. And they actually had some places where they said, if you hear, something weird, just go to the immediate exit or something. We had to get a whole lecture before we could go into the place. And then to wrap it up, we were able to go, and sadly I didn't get to stay there the whole time, but I got a very good feel of the Western Development Museum. And starting, let's say early 1900 to current modern day, just how technology has progressed through the years and how it's really been helping out mankind in every way. And again, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. It was lots of fun, and I learned a lot more than I was expecting to when
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions or?
What did you expect when you got there? What were you thinking was going on?
I was thinking way more computers and nowhere near as much fire. But technology can be more than just computers. It can be, we're enhancing the seed to get a more stronger bread, like the thicker dough so it fills you up quicker, kind of deal. Yeah.
Did you stay in a hotel there, or were you?
No, Rotarians down there housed us all. That came from.
How many students were there?
I want to say we had about 26 students. It was a good number of us, yeah.
And where were they all from?
I believe we had one from Vancouver Island all the way to Dryden, Ontario. So we had most Western Canada.
How did you travel?
Most of the time we traveled by, they rented.
From here to there?
Here to there, we took, you guys paid for a break.
James, would you recommend, that this is the first year that we sent a student to that particular adventures program. Would you recommend that the club continues with that?
I would recommend it. It's a learning experience that they're not going to expect, but you learn a lot when you're there.
I was surprised by how much is going on in Saskatoon.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Does it happen in Saskatoon every year? Or?
Yeah, Saskatoon.
Saskatoon is becoming more well-known for their technology, especially in the US.
Is the equivalent in Alberta or not?
Alberta's more known. We're more known. We have the technology, but we're more medical, whereas they're more bio. So farmer and whatnot.
Did it make a difference in your plans for the future?
I would say it was pretty, I knew what I wanted to do for the future. Like, I'm not a huge farmer kind of person, but it was interesting to know what all more, I guess, opportunities could arise. Like when I was at SED, I learned more about technology engineering, where a guy, he says he stays in the shop all day, builds little devices until it does what he wants, and then he goes and puts it towards whatever project he's working on. So that would be cool.
All righty. Well, thank you very much for coming